peace is not an antonym for war. Peace is a specific thing. It's our actions and our behaviors. I believe that any acts of kindness I performed will bring forth acts of kindness in other people. We promote peace by starting within our own hearts, and then it spreads out from there. I realize world peace is more than any one person or one group can hope to achieve, but each one of us should do our part. So we work in our corner of the world to introduce peaceful actions.
Peace can be understood in sort of concentric circles. So initially you can think about peace in your family, and then peace with your neighbors, and then peace among countries. And if you think hard enough, you can think about peace within yourself. And that's a goal that I think is attainable.
When we create that environment of peace, communication is important. Communication and understanding people is a key to creating peace, to reducing, eliminating violence, to spurring people to support those in need. So communication is a key piece. And culture, oftentimes in our world today we see the cultural differences as negative. People are not like me, so therefore they're not as good as me. And the reality is that culture, when viewed from a different lens and different prism, enriches our own lives. And if we could understand culture through better communication, we would create a better world, and we would absolutely have that peace, safety, and respect.
Communication is big. If we are not able to communicate with each other, there's no way we can promote peace and safety. And I've recently been finding that in my own relationships, that now that I have to type stuff more to communicate with my family back home, I can realize how much we misunderstand each other when we're not actually seeing the nonverbals and all that involved in the language. So communication is really big, and I think culture is a major impact as well, because you grew up in your culture, you have the traditions, the customs, all that from your culture, and whether or not you identify with it, it's ingrained in you. So if our culture promotes peace and safety and respect, that will be something that you will grow up with and use in your life.
I think communication and culture is pretty crucial in that aspect of peace and in incorporating our vision of peace. Only because when you think of communication and culture, you're studying the different ways to respect cultures, and where we live in a very, very diverse place, and where the world is getting more diverse every day, I think that when people respect cultures, it increases peace.
Well, culture has a big impact on peace as well as war. Behind me are paintings by an artist named Paul Stopford, who was in South Africa during the apartheid era. Due to his exhibitions, he highlighted apartheid on an international scale, and in doing so he was exiled for the entire rest of his life until very, very recently. The works that he chose, though, that exiled him were on the activist Biko and his mysterious death. The government said that he was a suicide. The topical evidence showed that nobody could do that to themselves. He did a life-size reproduction of Biko's body and the various stages of how somebody could impossibly cause that kind of damage to a human body. He relocated in Boston, and the paintings behind me are the first pieces of a series where he was homesick. An artist like Stopford gives everything for a belief of faith and takes that leap.
To help create a world where everyone has peace, safety, and respect, I am planning on being a lawyer. Through a law career, I believe that I can definitely contribute in creating equal opportunities for everyone, equal laws, and make sure no one is feeling left out and discriminated against. And definitely justice is one way to create peace. When everyone feels they are at the same level then they start to get along more and they start to focus more on we instead of I and what I am going through.
What could I do personally? Tough question. Probably just try to be the most respectful kind of person I can be. Just do as much as I can daily. Try to do one nice thing for someone a day, I would think. Try to not be the kind of person I would want people to act like towards me.
In a local setting, and that's what I'm most responsible for, is being a local town manager. Really, one of the most important components of a community is the ability to communicate, and the ability to communicate clearly, effectively, but really communicate with a level of respect that shows the people that you're talking to that you understand their opinion, you respect their opinion. You may disagree with their opinion, because I don't think honor and respect means that you get everybody to think the same thing. I think honor and respecting other people brings the discourse up a notch, so that people can have a really should be able to have a free-flowing conversation about a host of opinions, because ultimately we all have opinions, and hopefully that honoring and nurturing that level of communication has sort of a calming effect.
I'm just trying to make it better. I'm trying to bring awareness to the fact that not everyone is safe. Not everyone is going to be happy or at peace. That the world in general is going to be 100% better when there's equality for women, for gender in general, when there's equality for marriage, gay marriage, any kind of marriage at all. Everyone's going to be, when people accept that, then the world will be better.
I think hate is like the bottom line of every violence. Every trouble in this world is hate, and if you're able to take away any judgment, any prejudice, any form of hate, the world will be a more peaceful place.
Some of you may know the story of the starfish. A father and his daughter were walking at the beach one day, and there were some starfish that had been washed beyond the tide line. And the little girl was worried about their getting back into the ocean. So her father said, well, we can put some of them back in. So she picked one up, and then she said, we can't get them all back in. And she said, what difference will that make if we only put this one back in? And her father said, it will make a difference to that one. So that's the way we have to approach peace, making the difference that we can make.
If everyone had peace, safety, respect, I think the world would look like an utopian place to live. Because the very first one, peace, is, I believe, an ideal, therefore unattainable. Safety might be a close second. However, I think respect is more attainable. So if we had those things, the world would be as close to utopia as possible. Just because there is an ideal doesn't mean that we cannot walk towards it. And I think that we're all, in some ways, walking towards that ideal of peace, safety, and respect.
If everyone had peace, safety, and respect, I think the world would look like a place that had no crime, that there were not violence, that everyone's opinion was valued and respected, that people would understand their connection to humanity and try to figure out ways to advance humanity through good deeds and working with their fellow human beings.
I feel like when people feel as though they're not safe, that's when they go on the defensive, and that's when the world becomes an uglier place. So if they felt as though their safety wasn't being threatened, they wouldn't have anything to worry about, and so everyone could get along so much better. And everyone deserves peace, safety, and respect. It should be a basic human right.
I see peace as a place where power is not a force, but power is what's called soft power, which is a democracy of ideas, where a university is an open theater for thought, performance, for learning in all cultures, in all languages. I see that as peace. It's chaotic, it's competitive, but it is peace, where force or coercion are not used, but the most appreciated idea usually comes out on top.
Oftentimes we pretend to be happy, and if we had definitely peace, safety, and respect, everyone would actually truly be happy. It would look like true happiness. The smiles would be true smiles, wider than usually, and there will be less fear, terror, and even less poverty going on. If everyone had peace, safety, and respect, I think the world would look like rainbows, because there are so many different aspects that come together and create this one beautiful image that brighten everyone's day.